Hello beautiful people. Today I want to talk about not only my overcome just digestive issues, bloating as a consequence of eating and digesting incorrectly. 4 years ago I was stuck in depression. I was overeating and overeating. At the time I was still eating meat, yet slowly turning into vegetarian. And ever since I started eating more consciously according to my body, life started to reflect to me the very medicine in forms of information to even help me become more aligned and attuned to my body's needs. And this is exactly what I want to share with you right now. It's been 4 years of eating vegan now. And the reason why is not because of the undeniable cruelty or that reality that we perceive of animals being slaughtered, and we know the whole fluff, but that wasn't my motivation or my inspiration or my reason why I became vegan. The very reason I became vegan, and I still am 4 years later, is simply because plants, fruits, contain more light and contain the necessary proteins and fibers that our body needs over the low vibrational, dense meat that most of our human population are still thriving upon. Now, I'm not saying that you should completely quit, because our body at certain stages in our life needs different kinds of foods. And I will get to that in a bit. The reason why I left my home country was because of a vision, and I knew that I would never go back. And it's been 4 years of traveling around the world right now. When I arrived into Peru, I basically had a moment where I died, which answered most of my existential questions, but also opened my eyes to the fundamental reality that this life is an illusion and that everything is consciousness. We continuously project and have our life mirrored our very beliefs. I became increasingly aware of how certain foods were only bringing me down, were only anchoring me into lower vibrations, and not being grounded into my essence of who I am. I started to see the very atoms and the very consciousness of the liveliness of food and how that wasn't serving me. That was my reason why I stopped all dairy, all foods that were off of meat and not vegan. When I transitioned from eating vegetarian and a little bit meat every now and then, I replaced that. I stopped eating the eggs. I stopped eating the meat. I stopped eating the cheese because of the enzymes that basically stay stuck, dairy food in general, in our body. And I replaced that to eating more proteins in forms of beans. I started to eating more potatoes. I started to eating basically a lot of fruit, a lot of nuts to replace what I needed beforehand. And I started to witness my body thrive more. And this led me to have human design come into my life. If you want to learn more about human design, I literally have a whole book called The Power of Imagination, which explains the power of human design. If you're new to human design, it's basically, in my opinion and many else's, the #1 source of information that this planet has basically never had so profoundly and compacted into one powerful teaching, encapsulating different kinds of teachings like astrology, the I Ching, the chakra system, all into one teaching. So make sure you download my free ebook. The link is in my bio. I started experimenting with the teachings of human design that helped me really overcome my fears, my feelings of unworthiness, and actually step into the power of who I really am as a projector right now, who is basically different than 80% of the population. The projector type basically maneuvers through life completely different than 80% of the population. So it really helped me step into my power and to lean in how I naturally flow best and how I naturally manifest best, and to help me overcome and rewire my biggest limiting beliefs. Now, you might think, why am I explaining all this? Well, basically human design emphasizes on the very way that we optimally digest food, how we should intake food, the different kinds of ways that we digest better. I have something called cold digestion. My body is most aligned and most in balance, most thriving, and can digest and take the light, can take the consciousness, can take the power out of the food when I digest very light foods and cold food only. So I started experimenting, replacing all these hot foods with cold food, replacing all the heavy foods, the meat, even the heavy proteins such as chickpeas, and I replaced those with just sweet potatoes, salads, and a lot of fruit. And I have just been thriving ever since. Now, this is an experiment, and like I said, life fluctuates. Depending on the very wounds and these certain frequencies that we ebb and flow through, we might need more heavier foods to thrive. At times we might even gravitate back to eating meat because our body just really needs that, and that is okay. However, I'm here to tell you, we are all becoming more conscious, more light is entering our body. We are all gravitating to more lighter foods. If you feel stuck right now, if you are maneuvering, bloating and digestive issues, my one-on-one coaching sessions are opening up again to help you transcend your biggest emotional blockages and how to truly let go and make use of this system of human design. Human design has truly changed my entire life. So if you face any problems that you want solved, even if they're outside of the whole food topic that I'm discussing right now, you can email me. Now, there are many other forms of digesting. There are certain people who thrive when they only eat hot food every once in a while, every few moments of the day. And most people, including myself, thrive best when they eat only a certain portion, may it be a large meal in the morning and then have a fast. Or they eat only twice a day and leave no room in between to really allow the body to fast, because when your body is not digesting or is digesting less, it functions at its best. Human design really shows all of this. I hope this video was informative, and I hope this video inspired you to dive deeper into the very different kinds of ways that people intake according to human design. And I also hope that this video was just informative for you in general. So yeah, I wish you the best. All my free resources to being part of a thriving community and my ebook is all found down below. Have a good one.